This is my BMW R1200 GS Adventure. I've owned it now for just over a year. It's the K25 air-cooled version. I've done most of the servicing myself. I've added all the modifications myself. And these are my thoughts on this bike. Did I lose money buying it, as you do with most bikes? And would I buy it again? It's a 2008 bike, registered on 2009. It is in really good condition because it's only done 20,500 miles. So it's nothing for one of these bikes. It's had a fairly sheltered life, I think, but I'll show you around. So there are a few little bits of corrosion going on, but that's due to me not giving it a very good clean over winter. I did ride over winter, so there is a little bit of corrosion on some of the bolts, but that is going to come off. It's not going to be a massive problem. Just a quick look at the accessories that I've fitted or were already fitted. So I've fitted the GR motor exhaust. Got the buffer running in at the moment. I've not taken that out since the MOT. It's got a mud sling. These are definitely needed on this type of bike. It just flick mud everywhere. So if you've not got one of those, you're going to get wet, dirty legs pretty quickly. Got the in-off camera there. And in-off on the front. Dash cams, and they're all wide into the in-off N2 screen. I think it's a very good mod. Certainly at this age where there's no technology really on this bike, it does give you Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. It's got both cameras linked in, so as soon as I start the bike up, we've got dash cam front and rear, and this tyre pressure monitoring. So if you do get a puncture, you're going to know about it pretty quickly. They do react fairly quick. Other mods, seat covers. These are a Facebook Marketplace special in absolutely brand new condition, and they do keep your backside a bit drier rather than some a sweaty seat, especially in this weather. Got the Colite D09 Pros. They cost me £130 and absolutely brilliant for the price. They are hooked up to a hex easy cam, which is under the seat, which I cut the harness off for the Colites so I could have a bit more flexibility by connecting it to the hex easy cam. Grip puppies were already on there. This bike is a bit vibey with it being an old agricultural type boxer engine, so they do help with the engine vibration. And I got an SW Motec tank ring for my tank bag. Got that on the Monkey too. They work really well, especially if you want to be on and off with a tank bag, and for fueling you can just pull the clip and it comes straight off. So why did I buy a BMW GS? Well, I wanted something that was a bit more of an all-rounder. The Blackbird was a fantastic bike, really quick, but that was its main trick, going quick. And riding around the Peak District, I got sick and tired of getting bumped out the seat, especially over the pothole roads. I wanted something a bit more comfortable, a bit more capable of handling those type of roads. I also want to do a bit of green laning as well and see what this thing is actually like off-road. I know they're not supposed to be brilliant, but I'd rather have a bike that can do multiple things than it's just a specialist in one. So that was the main reason. I also wanted shaft drive. Got a bit sick and tired of having to clean the chain all the time, get back off a ride, clean the chain up, re-lube it, and shaft drive just eliminates that completely, and it's just nice and silky smooth. I also want something that gave me a bit more of a better view when riding. Certainly in the hunch down position on the Blackbird, although it is a sports tourer, you were tending to be more in more of a hunch position like a sports bike, not really being able to enjoy the view as you're riding along. So this gives you the more sit up and beg type style, but also gives you the advantage of being able to stand on the pegs if you get cramp and still have full control of the bike. If you're going long distance and you don't particularly want to stop just yet and you start to get an achy leg or whatever, you can just stand up and still control it as if you were sat down. So what do I love about this bike? I love the fuel range. With it being an adventure version, it's got a 300-mile tank, which is absolutely fantastic. If you don't want to stop, you can just keep riding and you don't get that range anxiety. I also love the characteristic of it. It is old, it is got an agricultural feel to it. I get a lot of comments saying that your bike sounds like a tractor, mate, when I put things online. I think, well, yeah, it is old, it is a boxer engine, but it's also very reliable and it does have a fair amount of torque for such an old bike as well. So I quite like the characteristics of it. I like how it handles, especially once you get going, it's great. Slow speed, not so brilliant, but I do like this bike. Another thing is it's easy to maintain. There's nothing on this bike that you can't really do with basic tools. Torque wrench and a few of the little bits and pieces, but most of the stuff can be done at home just by following YouTube guides and a basic understanding of maintenance, really. Another good thing is it's got a massive owner community. There's so many of these bikes been sold right from the very start of the 1100s right up to the very latest 1300s. If you need information on the bike, you've got an issue with it, you can usually go onto one of the forums and somebody somewhere will have had that problem and is able to help you out. So it is a fairly good community online that can give you assistance when needed. What I don't like about this bike, one thing is the fuel gauge. They are notorious for going wrong. Mine is still working but not very accurate, so when I fill it, it will show full, but it takes ages for it to come down, and I have been caught out once and nearly ran out of fuel. It is a, like I said, known issue. You can get it fixed, but it involves stripping the tank down and it is an absolute faff. So instead of doing that, I just reset the trip every time. As soon as I get to around 250, I go and refuel. Another thing I don't quite like, it's around the stigma of the GS. A lot of people seem to think that it's just a bike that people ride to Starbucks on. It's an old man's bike. All GS riders are knobbers and nonces, and that they don't put their hands up and wave. I think you get that with all motorbike brands. You're going to get people who are miserable and don't wave and a bit stuck up. All the guys I've met with GSs have been sound, but I think the GS is a brilliant bike, a great all-rounder, and if you've never ridden one, how can you really comment? Go out and ride one, see what you think. You might actually find that you do love it. One of the biggest problems I found is just wheeling it around the garage. If you want to get it out and spin it around, it is so damn heavy. I don't know how these guys in showrooms do it. They just whip them around like they're on ice, but yeah, I do struggle with this. I'm only 5'9". It is bloody heavy to move around. If I dropped it, it'd be a pain in the backside to pick up. I know I could pick it up, but I don't really want to be doing that. But yeah, wheeling around slow speed, it is a nightmare. But once it's moving, it's like any bike, it just flies and handle really well. So, would I buy this bike again? In all honesty, I probably would. I would probably look for a 2010, 2012 because it's got a slightly better engine. Although it's a very, very similar engine, it's slightly better. I think it's a twin cam version. I'd probably go for that one. But if this was my only budget and this was the bike in that range, I would, yeah, 100% go for one of these. It just does everything you need it to do. And if you've never ridden one, go test ride one and see what you think. Yeah, this hate that GS riders get, I just don't understand it really. You get people acting like dicks on most bikes. I don't think it's specific to a GS. I mean, look at some of the Harley riders. No disrespect to Harley, I've had one myself. But yes, there definitely seems to be more idiots riding those. I just nod and wave to everybody, except delivery drivers. Not a chance. Or delivery riders, should I say. So if you ride a GS, what do you do? Do you nod and wave, or just nod, just wave, or ignore people? Let me know in the comments. And do you find you also are subject to this stigmatism of GSs? Do you have people putting stupid comments online if you actually post online? Not that it particularly bothers me, and every person that comments assists the video in getting promoted further. It's quite funny when you get the trolls on slagging your bike off or the way you ride it, and you think, well, stay as much as you like, pal. It's only assisting me. Price of the bike, so I paid £5,500, which included my Blackbird trade-in. Having a look online now, you can look on, well, I've looked on Auto Trader, and there are bikes similar age, a little bit higher mileage, and they're still going for around about £5,500 to £6,000. Obviously you can buy this a lot cheaper privately, and if I was to sell it private, I'd obviously lose out on that. And again, if I sold it to trade, I'd lose out, but it's not been as much depreciation as any other bike I've ever had. This one has held its value really well, and also the modifications that I put on there, I know they don't add value to bikes, but I could take them off and sell most of them anyway for a fairly decent price. But I've got no intention of selling the bike anytime soon, so yeah, they do hold value pretty well, these BMWs. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, and also help me out, hit the subscribe and let me grow the channel. Thanks for watching.